excited to get back down to Oklahoma City, or are you a little bummed you won't get to play in Alley P? Or?
Oh, I mean, it's a little bit of both, to be honest with you. I mean, obviously, we had every intention of playing here, but as you guys know, the weather's not something you can control. And the amount of rain we've received in the past week, as well as what's on the way, the facility and the risk of it not being playable in the outfield is just something we to risk, and we're thankful that Oklahoma City's given us a chance to host this great tournament in a ballpark and in a setting that will be awesome. So as much as we'd love to play here, we're very much looking forward to playing at a place where we have great memories, and kids have great imagery right now in their minds of Bricktown and the crowd there and the experience we had. So, sometimes you got to take situations as they come in front of you and make the very best of them, and that's exactly what we're doing. Administration's been awesome getting this put together in a short amount of time, and we appreciate the NCAA working with us to make sure that our team gets a chance to host a regional in an area that's to our advantage from the standpoint of sharing it with our fans and playing in a great facility.
At what point did you guys start realizing you need to start making a backup plan?
Well, while we were gone, we've been gone since Tuesday, and it's rained, I think. I don't want to quote me on it, but maybe up to almost 8 inches since then, or 6 to 8 inches. And, as great as this old park is, it just doesn't drain real good. And so obviously the outfield's the real concern. The infield's covered, but it just kept raining. And every night those thunderstorms fired up. Unfortunately, they ran right through Stillwater, just like they did a lot of the state. And so as the week went on and it became concerning that it wasn't going to stop raining, that the outfield had continued to puddle to the point where it was so saturated that we weren't sure how we were going to get it to dry out. And so obviously with a tournament of this magnitude, if you're going to have a contingency plan, you got to think ahead a little bit. And so while we were in Oklahoma City, we just checked to see if there was any place to play that had a high-level drainage system that could handle high amounts of rain in a short amount of time. And thankfully Oklahoma City was willing to partner up with us and give us this opportunity.
What, if anything, do you know about your 3 other teams right now?
Well, obviously they're all good or they wouldn't be in the tournament. Seen Harvard before. They're obviously going to come in here very well prepared. I have not got a chance to see film on them, but I don't know a ton about them, but I will by the end of today. I know Coach Erstead at Nebraska and have seen a little bit of film on their team. Obviously they're playing in the Big Ten and playing a lot of good baseball. And then Connecticut's a team that for many years has been one of the toughest teams in college baseball, playing the vast majority of their games on the road and have had some great players. So they're obviously going to be very comfortable traveling and playing good baseball. So at this stage in the season, as I've told the kids, the chance to play is what you're fighting for. Who you play and where you play, if that's going to be the only thing that dictates your mood, then you're in trouble anyway, right? So we're going to embrace the chance to play, and Harvard's our opponent in Game 1. And it'll be in Oklahoma City, 6 o'clock Friday night. And from there, we'll get ready to navigate a tournament just like we did and bank on the fact the Big 12 tournament prepared us for anything we're going to see in this tournament and draw our confidence knowing we can handle it. It's fantastic. I hope we can set some crazy records this weekend for fans in that area going to see the softball team and coming over to Bricktown. Why not? Let's make this let's paint Oklahoma City orange for a weekend and make it something we can celebrate. We'll turn lemons into lemonade, right? And just make it something that everybody OSU can get after. And I think we had close to 7,000 fans on a 30-minute notice on Sunday, right? So we got 4 or 5 day notice. Let's pack Bricktown, make it orange, and create some special moments and keep it rolling.
Joe and Colin are the only kids that played in Omaha in 2016, as far as you know. And if they are, just that.
Well, Jensen. Jensen pitched the game in Omaha. Colin was obviously there. Joe was there. I believe Ben Leeper was on the team, but injured. But yeah, I think we're down to 3 or 4.
How much do you delve on their experience being seniors and knowing what it takes to get there?
Well, I lean on those kids a lot because they're influential members of our team because the other players look to them and draw cues on how to handle and react to situations and how to conduct themselves. So I rely heavily on those kids for a lot. Joe Lienhard's a 4.0 student. He's one of our best pitchers. He's got the best energy. He's an unbelievable teammate. Everything he does shows the others on what this is about. And when it comes to, just going into the postseason and how they'll handle themselves, what they do amongst each other today with their day off and the subsequent days getting ready. As a coach, I sleep easy because I trust those kids. And I know they're going to make good decisions and show up here ready tomorrow, ready to get to work. And so there's a lot of value in those kids that you could never place a statistic on. But I know what they mean to the team.
You mentioned that TCU was a tournament team and wanting more Big 12 teams in. Are you glad to see them get in?
Well, I'm always glad for the Big 12. I mean, I thought the Big 12 was very tough this year, top to bottom. I mean, you could look at every weekend we played, and you're looking across the field at something on the other side that was very good, whether it's a loaded pitching staff or a balanced offense or a highly competitive, scrappy team. I mean, every team we played brought a definite something to the weekend that was challenging. But five Big 12 teams, correct? I think that's great. I'm happy for the conference, and there were other teams that were probably very much under consideration. So, 5 of the 9, and I know our goal as coaches is to try to get 5 or 6 year in, year out, because we think we have that kind of league. But for us and West Virginia and Texas Tech to all host regionals, that's a great step in the right direction. I don't remember a year where we've had 3 hosts. I think it's been a while. And Texas Tech got a national seed. They deserved it, and we were obviously right on their heels at number 9. So I think it's a good representation of Big 12 baseball, and hopefully we keep growing that. But yeah, I think whether it had been Texas, TCU, or whomever got that 5th spot, those teams were all in consideration, as it appears when you watch how it played out.
With golf playing so well and softball going to the World Series, it's a great time to be a Cowboy right now, right?
Yeah, they brought that up yesterday, and we are proud of the other teams. We know those kids. We share space with them, whether it's study hall or dining hall or just this campus in general. You're always rooting for your fellow coaches and student athletes and players in here. Really close to a lot of the kids on the other teams, and obviously, I mean, Alan Bratton's playing for a national championship, and he sends me a text yesterday after we went. It's just the kind of friendship you have. Same with Kenny. So we appreciate that as coaches. That's uncommon across athletic departments. Not a lot of places do the coaches stop what they're doing and send you messages. But Coach Boynton, Coach Gundy, all the coaches that I've heard from, it means a lot. It's nice that they care about what we're doing and would take time out of their day to send you a message.
I know you still have to play the regional, but were you surprised to see all the conference versus conference potential super regionals?
Nah. I mean, we got to play Harvard on Friday. Then we'll see what we play on Saturday. And if you get to the next weekend, then you'll just deal with whatever's in front of you. That's how I am. And quite honestly, Coach Tanner, who's the head of the committee, there's no better person to have heading up a baseball committee than a former national championship baseball coach. And from what he said, they paired him up 1 through 16. They seeded him in order, which is what something college baseball has been asking for a long time, was to try to get away from some of the imbalances, and so if they went ahead and lined them up 1 to 16 and 8 and 9 fell side by side, then that's the byproduct of lining them up 1 through 16. So if that's the way it plays out, then you just embrace it.
What's your guys' schedule like this week?
Well, kids are going to rest, that's for sure. We needed it. That was a very emotional and physically taxing day yesterday, and by the time we got back to Stillwater, kids were tired and they need to get a good day off for the week, and then that lets us figure out our plan of attack around here, see who our opponents are, get them on paper, start lining some things up, and re-engage the process with them starting tomorrow. And then from there, we'll practice as much as Mother Nature allows, and I believe it'll be a Thursday workout day in OKC on Bricktown's field and get in tournament play mode.
Colin mentioned yesterday, after being in hotels for about a week, he's looking forward to being back home. You guys back in Oklahoma City. Do you handle that or approach that any differently than sleeping in your own beds? Or
I mean, we'll get to sleep here for 3 or 4 nights. That's enough. Nice hotels down there. I mean, hopefully we'll be able to set up shop again in the Bricktown area. I think the kids have some familiarity and comfort with it. It'll be great. I mean, it'll be great. It'll be great for the teams coming in. So, like I said, would we have loved to have played here? I mean, of course, it goes without saying. It's not even it's a non-topic, but you gotta be willing to adjust, to be flexible sometimes. And there's nobody in the state of Oklahoma that wants this rain or deal with these tornadoes or flooding. Of course, nobody wants it, but it is what it is. So you just make the best of it. And I think we're probably in many ways very lucky that another option was even available, because the last thing you would want to see happen is have a major tournament being played here and get hit with thunderstorms for 4 or 5 straight more days, and then what are you going to do?
With the field being the way it is, what challenges does that pose to you just trying to practice this?
We have not practiced on this field other than the infield in 2 weeks. So we'll just continue to work on the dry part of the field, which our guys done an awesome job of keeping it dry for us. But you just got to be careful in the outfield. You don't want to lose a player. Last time we were on, it was the Baylor series. So Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. We got a nice turf facility right up the street here. We can jump on, get stretched out. We'll be ready. That's not a concern. But, yeah, you do have to be mindful of it.
Health-wise, how are you guys doing after last week?
We'll find out about Houston's hand tomorrow whenever the X-ray becomes available. And hopefully he's not out. He got hit on the hand by a pitch. But we'll know more tomorrow. Hopefully Bryce Carter feels a little better. Got a second foul tip to the mask this season. Shook him up a little bit. We got to be real cautious with him since head injuries are pretty serious. We don't want to. So we'll be patient there, make sure he's okay. Other than that, I believe the kids are in pretty good shape.
Trevor Boone is a guy you talked about a lot this past week. Was there something that clicked for him that has sort of put him on this ascent?
Trevor is fascinating. He is. He's got great gifts. His hands are strong. I mean, that's a strong set of hands. You know, when you see a guy hit a ball the way he hits it and the way the ball goes, those are rare strength in his hands. His energy and his motor are off the charts. You can't measure him because he's the highest motor I've ever been around. Never has a bad day. You always have to shoo him out of here. But where I think it started to click is he got a little more centered in what he's trying to do, and he got more consistent. I used to tell him he was a box of M&Ms, like 10 different flavors, and I never knew which one he was going to be. I liked them all, though, but I just needed a little more consistency from him, trying to just get him to zero in a little bit, and I think his focus has improved dramatically. And that's partly him growing up on the mental side of the game, but him maturing just in general. He's got a great personality, and but when he really started to get more consistent, he made some swing adjustments to stay in the middle of the field, stopped expanding the strike zone as much, slowed things down. Some things started to come to him, and then from there, his level of consistency has been pretty awesome. And I don't know, but I would think if you look back on like the last 10 weeks, every single weekend, he's had a pretty big impact in the games. And so that's just a compliment to him for growing up and putting the work in and being willing to listen and allow himself to be coached, but also, going in the batter's box and doing it when it matters. And he's really grown in that way.
I guess general thoughts on how everything played out in there.
I think we got a pretty good break on our regional. It sucks we can't play at Alley P, but I think everybody's really excited to play at Bricktown. It's a good ballpark. I kind of think that it doesn't make sense. I don't like the interconference matchups and super regionals. I don't like that they pair things up like that, but it is how it is. So Tech's a good ball club, but right now we just got to focus on our regional and take it one game at a time, and I think we got a pretty good break.
How much does that help that you were just there a few days ago and had so much success?
It helps a lot. I think we play really good in that ballpark. We love it. I love playing there. I know we know that field really, really well. We play there a lot. So I think it helps a lot to, even though we move sites, it helps a lot to know that field and have played there a bunch. Well, luckily I get to be in my own bed for a couple days before we leave, but I'm just really looking forward to regionals. I mean, yeah, you'd like to be at home and be in your own atmosphere, but I think Bricktown is kind of like our own atmosphere. It's kind of like a home field. Even when we were in the Big 12 championship, that place was flooded with bright orange, and there were only a couple West Virginia fans there. So even though it's not actually at home, I think it's more of a second home field for us.
Were you surprised at all that you guys didn't get one of those top 8 seeds?
Yeah, I was actually kind of shocked. I knew we were in the talk, and I don't pay a lot of attention to numbers, but I heard that we have like the number 2 strength of schedule, and our RPI was, I think, 7 or something like that. So I would definitely say that I think more than just me, we're pretty shocked that we didn't get one of the national seeds. I mean, I know our conference wasn't as great as it could have been. We had some big wins throughout the year, though, but late in the year we played really well. We won the conference tournament, so I think quite a few people were pretty shocked that we did not get the national seed.
You guys are ranked pretty high. You received a hosting seat, but do you guys use that as fuel that you weren't a national seed moving forward?
I think we're a little upset about it, but we just got to play one game at a time. We can't look too far ahead, and I wouldn't say we're going to use it as fuel. It's pretty impressive that we're a top 16 seed anyways, so I think we're all just happy that we're even hosting a regional. So I think we're just going to use the energy and the momentum from last weekend and the momentum we got from seeing our name pop up as a host to keep us motivated to keep going.
Colin, what was it like catching 19 innings yesterday?
I think I said it yesterday. It's once you get past, there's like a wall you hit, and once you get past about the third inning of the second game, it's almost like you're refreshed. You forgot about the first game. Your adrenaline kind of starts taking over, especially in a big game like that. It was a championship game, so once I got to the third inning, I kind of started looking ahead, and it kind of made me forget that I had already caught 10 innings. So, I was tired. I got home last night, and I sat on my couch for about an hour and went to bed at about 10 o'clock and passed out. So, I was exhausted after the fact, but during the fact, I kind of got over the hump, and I felt pretty good.
Colin, a couple years ago, you got to go with this team to Omaha. Now, your last run, how much do you portray that to the younger players and tell what it takes to get there?
We haven't really actually talked to them about what it takes to get there and how the journey to there was. We kind of just take it game by game, and I know how it feels. I know what it looks like to get there, and I feel like this team has a very, very good chance to get there, the way that we're on a roll right now. So we'll just, like I said earlier, we'll just have to take it one game at a time and see how that goes.
What do you remember about that Clemson regional heading your freshman year?
That was interesting. We hadn't had our hitting and pitching hadn't matched up all year. We would pitch it really, really well one game, and we would win the game 1-0 or 2-1. And so when we got to that Clemson regional, our lineup started hitting and our pitching stayed strong. So that was the best part about that Clemson regional, is you saw what we could actually do if we hit and pitched like we could throughout an entire weekend. And I think right now we're starting to pitch it like we can, and we've been swinging it like we can for the past couple of weeks. So I think if we just stay on that roll we're on right now, good things are to follow.
What have you seen from Trevor Boone this season to let him kind of take the next step in his progression?
I've helped Trevor out a lot. It started, what would that be, the summer going into my junior year. Me and him played on a summer ball team together, and he was lost at the plate. I showed up, and he was like 1 for 35 or something like that. And so I just finally talked to him and started talking to him about his approach and how he viewed things at the plate and his mentality about the game. And, I think that helped him a lot. And then I help him with his swing, little minor adjustments here and there. And for him to actually take those and apply them to his game and for his results to come the way they are, it's impressive. And he's a very, very impressive player. And most people look at him and say there's no way that kid's a center fielder because he's like 6'1", 225, but that kid runs around and tracks balls down like any other center fielder in the country.
Is there any specific thing that you've seen click with this team since getting swept in Lubbock?
Not really. I think Lubbock was a tough series. Texas Tech's a good team, so that was a tough weekend. But I think we just kind of stayed together. Sometimes teams get swept and they'll fall apart and they'll kind of start to do a downward spiral. But, Texas Tech swept us, and, we kind of just said it's over. We can't do anything about it now. So we just moved on and progressed through the season. And I actually think it helped us a little bit because it kind of brought us together. And so I wouldn't say that it hurt us at all.
You kind of enjoy the last few practices here at Alley P?
Yeah. I'm actually really looking forward to hitting some BP here for the last time in my career. This field's an incredible place. It's got a lot of history to it, so we're definitely going to enjoy the last moments we get here.
Joe, how excited are you just to be in regional play and to host one, even though it's going to be in OKC?
Yeah, it's really exciting. Coming off a very long weekend in Oklahoma City, it's been a grind. So be able to get back in our own place for a few days, kind of get situated for a little bit, get our feet underneath us, and getting back, and we're in real nitty-gritty now. We're in the postseason. Every game matters. Every pitch matters. It's going to be a lot of high intensity and a great atmosphere in Oklahoma City. And being able to host a regional is an awesome feeling. And not being able to do it here, it's tough a little bit. But we have a great support in Oklahoma City, and we're very familiar with that ballpark. So we're really excited and looking forward to it for sure.
When did you guys know the news that it had switched locations?
There's been talk kind of Saturday going into yesterday, kind of about, all the rain kind of happening in Stillwater. And how much the field's kind of been drained since that Baylor series. So there was talk about it, and then kind of going into Sunday after we won, definitely getting on the bus. And I know Josh and Kevin Feid had talked to the head people there in Bricktown, and they just kind of determined that was our best situation to be able to get the games in and be able to still host that regional. So, like I said, it's tough not being able to do it here, but our fans are going to be there to support us no matter what, and that's really all that matters.
How exciting was it seeing the crowds down there for the Big 12, even with the crazy schedule that you guys had?
Yeah, no, it's awesome. The game scheduling, being late at night and then the game getting canceled and early the next morning, our fans are just awesome, being able to have their support, and they have our backs all the time. And I remember the championship game, I was kind of sitting there when the game started, and I turned to, I can't remember who it was, somebody in the dugout, and I was like, man, there's not quite as many people here as there was my sophomore year. I think kind of everyone knew the game time that sophomore year, but yesterday they didn't quite know exactly when the game would start. But then, I looked around in about the third inning, and that thing was close to full in the bottom layer. So, our fans are pretty awesome, and being able to have that support, and it almost makes those games feel like a home game for us. And, that's huge, definitely, in any situation, especially in like a tournament setting. So, yeah, it's pretty awesome to see.
Asked Colin the same thing, but were you surprised you guys didn't get one of those top 8 seeds?
Yeah, it's tough. We put ourselves in the situation to get one of those top 8 seeds, and not being able to get it kind of throws a little wrench in the plan a little bit. But it can't really be our focus right now. We just got to focus on what's at hand, and that's Harvard on Friday or whenever we're playing. I think Friday. So we really just got to take it one pitch at a time. Focus on the situation at hand and winning our regional, and then we'll go from there. You never know what's going to happen. A team could lose and we still could have a chance to host, and if not, we'll go wherever we need to go, and we'll just take care of business and keep focusing on us and whatever we need to do to control the situation. But yeah, it is a little bit tough, being that we played so well down the stretch, and we've had so many tough things go on throughout our season, but still getting that chance at a host, no matter whether we're a national seed or not, is still a good feeling.
From a pitcher's perspective, how impressive was it to see Colin catch both those games?
Yeah, Colin's a warrior back there. I'm sure he's done that many a times in his career, so it wasn't something that was new to him. But on a day like that, a hot day, long day, waking up at 6:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, I know it's not easy, and for him to be able to do that, it's really impressive, and we got to give him a lot of props. And Colin does a great job of working with the pitchers, kind of helping us out and what adjustments we need to get to, and he's a wall back there, so it makes it easy to throw too. So yeah, you got to give Colin a lot of props for that.
Joe, I know your last outing probably wasn't what you wanted. So how anxious are you to get back out there?
Yeah, Saturday was kind of a tough day. I didn't quite have the outing I wanted, but I just got to get back in the bullpen with Rob, kind of look at my film and see what adjustments I need to make to get back on track. You're only as good as your next outing, so I kind of just have to flush that one and get ready to get back out there in the regional and help my team win in any way I can. So definitely will look forward to having a good bullpen this week and getting myself back on track and getting my mind right and ready to attack whatever's next.
You look at guys like Parker and Jensen that have battled injuries and Parker for a long time, it seems like, to come through it the way they did and go through the downtimes and all those different things and come out where they're at. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, that's awesome, especially someone that hasn't had a whole lot of injuries. So I've kind of been there to hold down the fort for a little bit while they've been out. But just seeing the treatment and seeing all the ups and downs they've had to go through. Parker got over one injury, came out and threw for a little bit, and the next one hit. I just remember how down he was, and and Jensen the same thing. He was such a warrior for us his freshman year, and and for him to go down, it was definitely tough. And when you're a pitcher and you get hurt and you're not be able to throw, and you honestly don't really know what to do with yourself. So I know how tough it was for those guys. So I just tried to help them and support them and do anything I could for them, just kind of keep their spirits up, and for them to put in all that work and all that treatment time and everything they've had to do to get back out there, and for them to have the success that they're having right now, it's really awesome and incredible to see. That they didn't give up. They kept pushing through it. And, they're going to keep pushing through it till ultimately they get to where they want to be. So yeah, it's really cool to see for sure.
A lot of guys have talked about how much fun this team is. What do you think makes this team unique compared to maybe some of the other teams you've been part of?
I think, just no matter what situation we're thrown in, I think we just kind of take the positive outlook on things. We've been thrown with so many different places this year and so many different ups and downs, and I think we just have that mindset of it doesn't really matter. We have each other, and that's really all we need. And we just try to make every situation the best situation we can. We're always cracking jokes. We're always just having a positive mindset no matter what the score is, no matter if it's raining outside, if it's sunny and 100. We're happy to be there, and we're just kind of trying to enjoy each other. I think this year with kind of the leadership we have and knowing that it's probably going to be a lot of our guys last year's, we're just kind of trying to take it one day at a time and just keeping a positive outlook on every situation.